Here with us to explore this idea is Dr. Augustine himself, who just recently swore his Hippocratic oath. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Augustine. Or is it Augustine? Dr. Augustine, am I correct in stating that original sin is the originally sexually transmitted disease?
That's right, Gabriel. After the fall in the garden, we know that Adam laid with Eve in the biblical sense. But in their sinful state, the offspring, ergo every human being conceived since, has in them this dark seed. It is tragic, my dear Gabriel, but God's ways will always work toward the ultimate good, no?
Absolutely, Doctor. We've learned to trust in the boss's comings and goings, especially since we saw how things went for Lucifer and his boyos. But, Doctor, is there any way to prevent this disease from spreading?
Well, baptism of the tiny babies stops this dark seed from taking fruit. Other than that, celibacy is the only other alternative I see.
So you see no evidence of a form of spiritual contraception?
What are you trying to say with that, my friend?
Oh, nothing, Doctor. Well, I do appreciate your time, sir, and I wish you all the best in your new office. Take care.
Thank you, my dear Gabriel.
We'll be right back with our exclusive interview with Constantine, right after this word from our sponsor.
In the medieval period, 3 top theologians were sent to a monastery by an ecclesial court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security cloister to the European underground. Today, still wanted by the papacy, they survive as theologians of fortune. If you need models of atonement, if no one else can provide sound doctrine, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team. As ringleader for the A-Team, Augustine laid the groundwork that theologians would follow for centuries to come. He advanced early notions of the atonement as a spiritual rescue mission to ransom humanity from the grips of hell. Abelard is the consummate smooth talker and lover of the group. After an affair with one of his students and subsequent castration, Abelard developed a theory of atonement that freed God from such limiting roles as a feudal lord. By the powers of his rational thinking, Anselm set out to explain why God became flesh in Jesus Christ in his landmark work, Cur Deus Homo. With his commanding physical stature and intellect, Aquinas masterfully grafted elements of previous atonement models and came up with one that has elements of the satisfactory as well as inspirational.
Welcome back. Now it's time for our exclusive interview with the Emperor Constantine. As you're about to see, he was feeling a little testy.
Good evening, Constantine. It's good to have you here on a visit from Purgatory. Thanks for your time.
It's my pleasure.
Let's get started with football. Now, we saw you at the game. How did your team play?
I think the East team played well. Unfortunately, one of our best players, Origin, wasn't able to play, and the referees. What a shame. I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, going back to Origin, what exactly happened to him?
He was always complaining about his uniform, especially about his pants. He said that they were too tight, so he got rid of the thing that was bothering him. He wasn't using it anyway.
Did the other players complain as well?
Actually not. For them it's not a big issue. Small things fit better in those pants, if you know what I mean.
Of course, you're talking about legs, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we just have one size of pants, and Origin is a little bit bigger than the other players.
Okay, trying to move on here. We heard you had a vision. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was walking down the street when I saw something on the sky. It was right after I had lunch. I saw with my own eyes a cross, but it was not just a simple cross. On it, I could read the inscription, "By this sign you will conquer."
Right, and what did you have for lunch?
As a general for the German Legion, I love pork with potatoes, and of course, some beer too.
Okay, so exactly how much beer did you consume?
Just the usual, a gallon of beer.
By yourself?
Yeah, I wasn't that thirsty.
Are you sure you weren't pissed?
What did you say?
Oh, nothing.
Well, regardless of the source of your vision, how did you square it with the teaching of Jesus about loving your enemies? I mean, people used to have to leave the Roman army or at least stop killing when they became Christians.
Well, I think you can love somebody while killing them. If it's a battle or something. I think Augustine said it about a century after I was gone. He was really smart.
Let me put it to you this way. Are you really a Christian?
Of course I am. Why do you ask?
Well, you didn't get baptized until your deathbed.
Of course. I wanted to be clean for purgatory.
Okay. And how is your mom doing? How was her trip to Golgotha?
It went pretty well. She brought with her a piece of the original cross on which Jesus died, and also the robe the soldiers gambled for.
Well, how can she be so sure that those are the originals?
Are you saying my mom is a liar?
No.
Hey.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. Can we move on?
Okay.
Okay, some are actually saying that it was you who killed Crispus, your son, and Fausta, your wife. Is that true?
No. I never laid a finger on them. I didn't kill them.
Well, then how did they die?
There was a rumor on the palace that they were having an affair. I went to check it, and yeah, it was true. So I ordered my bodyguard to kill them. You see, it wasn't me who killed them.
But why were they having an affair? Are you sure you didn't pull in Origin?
Oh my God! Let's get this guy out of here. Back to purgatory. I mean, this guy's nuts.